fun.
That was awesome. All right.
Song and everything.
That was beautiful.
We followed through with our promises. Except for the panty part. That's right. That's later. The bras are
Well, I think I already know the answer to this question, but how does it feel to return to the city of Townsville with each other here?
Wow.
Reunion.
Pretty awesome.
pretty awesome.
We don't like each other very much, so
Can you tell?
it's hard. It's hard to work together.
Especially like I'm the referee usually between those two. They're pretty wild.
We did get in a lot of trouble. It was usually two of you shut up.
No.
Yeah, quite a lot. And me going, Izzy, you're lying.
Yeah. That's because Tara's always calling us up.
That's right. That's right. Don't tell your mother.
There's children here.
That's right. That's right.
Sorry.
Stupid. To keep it PG. Stupid.
Bad.
Just as dumb as I'm
God.
Alrighty, guys.
Yeah. So when you first heard about this show, when you were going to audition for the first time, was this something that was a different concept to you? I mean, you're talking about three girls who basically kick butt. I mean, was this an interesting show to you from the start, or were you like, I'm just going in for another job?
I thought it was like pretty awesome because I love martial arts, and girls, like, we never as actresses get to like kick butt and stuff. So for me, when I saw that, like, here's these little girls like kicking butt, you know, and it was so fun. We got to make all the fun sounds that guys do when they're fighting, and it was just so cool. It was at Hanna-Barbera that we went to. You guys, that's where we auditioned when you used to go in, to audition. And so we were at like the famous Hanna-Barbera studio, and Craig McCracken was like 12.
He was literally like,
He was like,
that was the most fascinating thing when we went into the casting was Craig was like 16 for real. And we're like, who's this kid?
I think he was in his second year at Kellogg.
Yeah,
right?
and
So
he was
like
just
20.
a new young guy. And then we didn't do the show for like how many years later, Tara? Do you remember?
Well, I wasn't in the pilot.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
that's right.
Yeah.
Actually
Where
played.
would we have been if she wasn't?
I know. We would have so missed our bubbles.
I remember the first episode, we were like in one of the first episodes, we were like chased by broccoli.
Yeah, that's
Like,
right.
what is
And the first one, the pilot was all about meat. Like they were throwing meat at each other. It was
Tara's a
like, what is this thing
vegetarian.
about meat?
I know.
And then they call like what, 5, 6 years later. When
Yeah, and then we ended up doing the series like 6 years later.
And I'm like, the one about meat? Okay, all right. But it was fun.
What was the process like to kind of develop the characters of these girls? Did it kind of click right away, what you did in your audition, or did it kind of, take a little time to really get that, buttercup voice, that Bubbles voice?
I think I would say for me, like, I think we all kind of had our natural personalities, and they started to notice, and then that she was kind of the bossy boots. What do you mean? And I was sort of the feisty one, and Tara's sort of too cute for words.
And no one wants to be me.
I don't like it.
I think they, we were pretty, for the pilot, I think we were pretty close, but I think my voice evolved a little bit.
I mean, I think always evolve.
Yeah.
When you watch the first episode of any show to season 3, it's like a totally different show, and little like quirks that we gave our characters, like I don't know why Bubbles pronounces it that way, and different like languages and animals that we came to, and things like.
Plus we have three girls, so whenever you have 3 female voices, you have to make sure they're very, very distinct, and I think that's where our delineation of our voices came, because I mean hers is like so out in the stratosphere, so high, and then she's got that beautiful rasp, and so it's just we had to really make sure that they knew who was talking. So
And particularly with this type of show, it's a very interesting show because you have 3 cute little girls at the head of it, but you also have a lot of action, you have a lot of adventure. So it was one of these types of shows that you really couldn't define, oh, this is a boy show, oh, this is a girl show. Did you guys feel that during the process?
Definitely. I mean, we have boy and girl fans, and my boys love it now on Boomerang. It's definitely, any gender, any age.
yeah, it speaks to
And all the villains are cool, so the boys can really tap into the villains. Mojo Jojo and the Gang Green Gang.
Plus it has that Japanese kind of feel to, the Japanese feel to those huge, Godzilla-like characters coming through to destroy the city. And, it's got, they were pretty together there. Mr. McCracken
knew something.
Do you have any really fun or funny or embarrassing kind of specific moments from recording? And also I was going to ask, just with the voiceovers kind of that I've dabbled in, I've found that sometimes I'm not in the same room with other people and I never even meet them. Were you guys always in the same room recording together?
We were always together,
Yes.
which is nice because we got to play off each other, and I think a lot of the stuff that happened was very organic and wouldn't have happened if we weren't together. And I do have a funny recording moment, aside from the fact that we always had fun. It was always a fun session. When Bubbles first started talking to squirrels, and I was like, squirrels. And Tom Kenny was like, is this how you talk to squirrels? And I had no idea I was doing it. I was like, yes! Shut up!
She had to do the motion. But I think it was important for us all to be together and so fun. And it's so hard, like when you're in doing a game, for instance, and you're by yourself for the 4 hours.
Nail appointment right now. Can you do your line?
She did her nails in the studio.
No, I have to pick on Easy, but you know what I have to say is this girl is like friggin'. She could be like doing whatever, and then she delivers her line like perfectly.
And let's give it up to her for being on The Voice.
So proud of you.
Yeah. Did you guys see The Voice? I've seen Blake. All right. Now you got to go to our web pages.
Oh, well, can you also highlight some of the other voices that you got to work with that played some of the villains and stuff like that?
On Powerpuff Girls, you mean?
Oh, we had some great people come in. Mark Hamill. Phyllis Diller. Phyllis Diller was amazing to have his icon come. Who else? We had some great people. Tom Kenny, you guys know, does SpongeBob. He's awesome. Almost all the voices. Mayor, the professor, almost every villain. Oh, Tom Kane. Tom Kane and Tom Kenny. Tom Kane and Tom. Yeah. Right. Thank you. We had Bob Carson came in, Jim Cummings. We might need to borrow those. We had some amazing people. Get them over here. Amazingly talented people. Thank you. We just need to hold on to them for security. Okay, you guys stop it. You're so controlling.
I was wondering if there's anything, either for Powerpuff Girls or just your other voiceover jobs, is there anything specific that you kind of ritual you do to get into character before you go in the studio? Are there any foods you can't have? If can you record in the mornings? Is there anything specific you need to do to get ready to do a voice?
We make out.
Yeah. That's it.
That's about it. We just make out.
I'm gonna get a straight answer for those two. Okay. So I don't eat dairy.
Control yourself.
That kills me.
That's right.
Okay.
Watch out, shipping's
There
coming.
is so much fanfic that's going to be written out.
We'll be doing the X-rated Powerpuff Girls. Do you have a real answer? Do you guys have real answers? I do actually. I listen if it's a character I haven't done in a while. I'll listen to it, or if it's an accent, I definitely have to get that in my head because I'm not a savant. But what do you guys do?
We make out. Besides making out.
Make out.
We make out.
Yeah.
I love you.
I'm sorry, I think they seriously do. I think that's how they do.
Okay, this is kind of like a mild version of what it's like to work with these two. This is very tamed down. So you can only imagine. And then you add a Tom Kenny and a Tom Kane and a Roger Jackson and whoever is our guest.
Right.
And we've got poor Colette Sunder. Yeah. The director has to really work with us. Guys, can you stop it? Guys,
come on,
can you be serious?
Come on,
Guys,
record it.
guys.
It was kind of funny when she got mad.
Yeah. She used to be a cop, right? Oh. Our director used to be a cop. Yeah. So anyway, she was like, come on, guys, we got to record here. So we're like, okay.
Yeah, well, I know obviously we're talking about the Powerpuff Girls, but I'm just curious if you guys want to highlight some of your other voices that you do, other characters that you do.
Take audience requests.
I'll take audience requests.